am Chris Bauer, and I teach creative writing and playwriting for Well-Trained Mind Academy. So I've been doing creative writing my entire life. My primary passion is prose. I love writing books and short stories, but I also love playwriting and have done a lot more of that, especially in college. I have a theater degree from the University of Virginia, and while I was there, I actually won a playwriting award. And I've been doing a lot of playwriting since then, including putting up a play that I wrote while I was in Chicago. Creative writing is I think it's fair to say, chief passion and goal in my life, and I'm currently working on a book and several other projects that I hope to publish soon. In my creative writing course, you can expect a variety of writing exercises. You get a new one every week. We spend most of our time on prose, so just straight up creative writing, short stories, that kind of thing. But we also do a few weeks on poetry, and we do touch on the fundamentals and structure of how to do playwriting and screenwriting in the basic creative writing course. So in class, while there are times when I just talk to the class about writing technique and how to approach certain elements like genre, building good characters, writing believable dialogue, and story structure, I believe the only way you really become a better writer is to write and to give and get feedback. So in the class, before we have class on Monday, so before every Monday, the students are expected to read everything that their classmates have written. And each assignment will be between 750 to 1,000 words. So there is some reading, but not an overwhelming amount. In class, we pull up each student's piece and discuss it. And one thing that I address with the students from the beginning of the semester is how to give good criticism, how to be constructive, and how to offer criticism that isn't prescriptive. So how to offer criticism by asking questions and pointing out things that worked and didn't work for you instead of saying, this is how I think you should have written this piece. It's the best way to talk about creative writing, which is so often subjective. And I think it's also a good preparation for college classes where you are also expected to give feedback in this way. So we do that every class, and then for the first 40 minutes or so, we talk about everybody's pieces. And then usually in the last 10 minutes, I will talk about the next piece that we're going to be doing in the upcoming week. And that is often when I'll touch on, here's how to structure it, here are things to watch out for, here are specific elements and thoughts that are going to help you out as you tackle whatever this week's assignment is. So then the students have between the end of class Monday and the end of day Thursday to write their piece, submit it to me, and also post it on the discussion board. And then they have between Friday morning and class on Monday to read all of the pieces from their classmates. If they're in the delayed section, then they're expected to go and leave comments on the discussion board giving feedback, since they can't take part in our discussion in class. But I do believe that what improves you as a writer is getting feedback and giving feedback, so that is an essential part of my course. So in the playwriting course, the process is largely the same, except that instead of the students working on a singular piece every week, they are working on the same play throughout the semester. So whereas in creative writing, you're going to have sort of a portfolio of shorter pieces by the end, in playwriting, the goal is to have an entire finished play at the end. And while we are still offering critiques, usually in units of 10 pages or so, so each student, will sort of have 10 pages ready for critique, and we'll go over those. Playwriting is really about refining that particular skill, while creative writing is sort of a sweeping look at a bunch of different, prose, poetry. We do touch a little bit on playwriting and screenwriting and creative writing, but playwriting really focuses in on that one element. I absolutely love teaching creative writing. I love the Well-Trained Mind Academy students, and I am very much looking forward to class this upcoming fall and spring. So over the next couple of weeks, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a character, and I'm going to send you a list of prompts to use to build that character. So some will be pretty basic, like what's their name, what's their age, where did they grow up? Very basic sort of building block stuff like that. But the more important stuff is, what is their greatest goal in life? What are they most afraid of? Who is the person that's most important to them? Because the details of a character, how they look, how they sound, is important. But the really important stuff that's going to help you write good scenes is who a character is, what their motivation is. So over the next 3 to 4 weeks, our first week, the assignment's going to be creating the character with these prompts. And then for the 2 or 3 weeks after that, we're going to take this same character and put them into different short pieces of different genres. So this is going to sort of serve a twofold purpose. First, it's going to give us practice writing in different genres. I'm thinking horror, comedy, and then sort of a dramatic, grounded scene. And grounded refers to looking for realism, looking for dialogue that sounds like things people would actually say. Because with comedy and horror, obviously you can get very, very elevated to the point of silliness, to the point of sort of things getting surreal. Anyway, the purpose is twofold. First, to practice writing in these genres, and second, to get to know the character better. Because the way to really build a character is to put them into different situations and see how they react. If you've built a character well, if you've given a lot of thought to who they are, then you're going to find as you build that character that they start to act in ways that surprise you. And that's a sign that you've created a really successful character, is when you're writing, when you put them in a situation, let's say a horror situation, which will be our first assignment after creating the character, and you have them come up against something that you know is going to frighten or unsettle them. And you have in your head how you think the story is going to work, but then you get halfway through and you realize, oh, actually, that's not how this character would react. They would actually do this. And then that leads you down a path that you didn't expect in the story. So our goal is to build this character, put them in these different genres, get practice writing in these different genres and sort of honing our craft that way, and then also seeing if our character can continue to develop and build to the point where maybe they start taking almost independent action and changing the story that you're writing on their own.